Mikkel Haarup, probably a tough weekend. You've been really good all year, but just talk us through the weekend. Yesterday didn't go too well. I saw you limping off. Are you everything okay that way?
Yeah, yesterday in the qualifying race I was off to a decent start. I was around 5th and Kai crashed on the jump on a landing, and I followed through because I was in the air by the time he crashed, and I land on his bike and I obviously come to a complete stop instantly as I land, and yeah, I damaged my knee a little bit, my groin, but yeah, that's why I had to hump away, but got everything checked up. Nothing broken, luckily, just a lot of damage, but yeah, we can deal with that. So we were doing a lot of work throughout the evening yesterday and again this morning, and I got the green light to go and ride. And yeah, so we had to obviously do some sort of damage control this weekend, but overall I actually felt good today. My riding wasn't too bad, but yeah, I had to come from the outside every time, and wasn't easy to pass. I had a little mistake in the second moto as I was challenging for 4th place, but overall solid weekend considering what we had yesterday, and I think once again we just proved how good our starts are from the outside, really. Because I had to come from way out, but yeah, obviously we're chasing more than just like a top 5, 6, 7. You know, we wanna get near the podium and get on the podium and win ultimately. So yeah, frustrating, but that's part of racing, I guess.
So as you mentioned, that your speed's been really good all year, which means obviously the bike is really good. Did you expect podium in its debut, really, what you must have been overjoyed with? Did you expect to be that fast over the winter? Did you realise this bike's pretty good and I'm going really fast?
Yeah, we did really good testing throughout the winter. I noticed that the bike is really great all round. Like, we could do consistent starts. Bike was always working well, so for me it was easy to adapt to because every training, every race, it was always the same. And yeah, overall just a good bike, very solid, and I think that's why I wasn't too surprised when we showed up in Argentina. I could feel it already on Saturday, and on Sunday we made it happen, and yeah, we've been close many weekends, I would say, but just a mistake here or a rider crashing in front of me and get caught out, or small things has kept us away from better results lately, but I feel like it's going to turn and hopefully soon, so we can get back on the box.
Were you expecting the bike to be so good straight away? We've got a brand new manufacturer, America. They've had good results, good starts, and obviously here as well with you and Camden. Did you expect when you signed that this bike would be a podium? Did you? Yeah,
I did, because I see the people working in the team. Mm-hmm. I met the engineers, and when I tried the bike the first time, I knew it was going to be a good bike. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of things that has to go right in order to get to where we are now, and we've had a really strong winter. The boys have been doing good. We've made adjustments throughout, both on the setup, on the engine, on the frame. You know, what you would expect with a new bike, and even though we've done all of these changes, we still managed to stay competitive and improve as well. So I think it just shows how well the bike is put together, and just enjoying really showcasing it. But yeah, when I tried the bike the first time, I knew immediately.
You rode Kawasaki, KTM, Husky, those sort of brands. Does it feel like a KTM or Husky's much the same, Kawasaki, or is it its own unique feel?
It's very much in between the two, I would say. Obviously every bike has its perks and negatives, but I think this bike is really solid all around. It's easy to set up, I think mainly because of the aluminum frame and the way that they've set up the bike from the beginning. It's got a strong engine. We've had very few technical issues, which again shows how well the team is working. It's just I would say it's very much in between a Kawasaki and a KTM. That's my opinion.
Do you share much information with the AMA team, or is the GP team working at a different beat because of the traction?
I know that Vince, the team manager, has been sharing quite a lot of data. Okay. Obviously there's a limit to it because they are riding mainly Supercross. Mm-hmm. So we cannot use all of their data, and they cannot obviously use. But I assume now when they're doing the outdoors, they do use a lot of us. Obviously they have some restrictions that we don't, and same the other way. They've got some fuel that we can't run. So yeah, that obviously puts a limit to how much you can copy each other. But I know they talk back and forth, especially throughout the winter when we were still in that testing period.
There's talk that the AMA and MXGP are going to have a combined race in America, the top, I presume, 20 of each class in the next year or two. Would you be excited to be involved in that?
Yeah, sure. I haven't heard anything of it, but
Okay.
but yeah, sure. Of course, I love racing, so why not?
Yeah. Keeping the American theme, Ricky Carmichael is heavily involved with Triumph.
Yeah.
Have you met him, spent time with him, learned anything from him, and how's that been for you?
No, so Ricky hasn't been in Europe,
Okay.
from what I know, ever since I came with the team. But I've heard, yeah, I think he was very much an influence, especially during the testing period.
Okay.
And when it comes to racing and setting up the bike for racing, it's more of an individual thing,
Yeah.
what the riders like, because someone like Ricky is built different than other guys. He's short-legged, very aggressive, the way that he rides the bike. So I think if he set up the bike the way he wanted, obviously it wouldn't be easy to ride for me.
Yeah.
So at one point, I guess he has to take a step back and just be the ambassador.
Yeah.
But I would love to meet him, and he has shown great support, like on social media and stuff. So he's definitely keeping an eye out. But yeah, the guy's busy.
And do you know what you're doing next year yet? This is your last year, I think, age-wise, MX2,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. So is there any plans?
No,
talks, nothing yet.
No.
And just on your career, you've had a lot of ups and downs. You've obviously had a lot of talent. Factory Husqvarna, and then you came back again with Dixon, showed your potential. And now again, you have a factory team, and you're really, I feel, blossoming into what your full potential is. Do you feel a kind of relief that you're climbing that ladder back up again and showing what you can really do?
Well, obviously you need to be in the right place at the right time for this to happen. And yes, like you say, I've had some ups and downs. I think mainly just because of teams and the way that things have been with injuries as well. Obviously plays a part, but I've never been worried to the point where it's not a worry for me, because I have a goal in mind and I'm chasing that goal, and obviously you need great people, great teams in order to make this happen. So that is obviously something I've had to chase, but it's never been to the point where I started worrying, because I knew if I can get a good bike, I will be up there in the front. I know.
Yeah, you've always had the speed. It's just getting all the
Exactly.
pieces of the puzzle,
So
I
with
guess.
consistency, and I mean, this season is far from done, and I'm enjoying it so much. I love the racing. I love just the way that we can be consistent. I mean, look at the boys now; they're throwing bottles around. Like there's a very good team atmosphere, and it just makes me enjoy the racing a lot. It's not only there's the hard work, and then there's the enjoyment, which makes the hard work even more fun. You know what I mean? So.
Brilliant, and good job this season. Great to see.